Hello and welcome to Tell the People, a program about our Catholic faith with news and information in and around the Catholic Diocese of Lafayette. I'm Stephanie Bernard. In today's show, we'll have an interview with seminarian and transitional deacon Garrett Savoy as he prepares for his last year before priesthood. Father Michael Champine's talk is about the upcoming year of faith in the segment What It Means to Be Catholic. And in a conversation with Bishop Michael Gerald, Monsignor Richard Green interviews Bishop Gerald about the church and politics, part 2 of 2. And now, Catholic news on this July 29th weekend. The Friends of Charlene Richard would like to remind everyone that the annual Mass, a petition marking the death of Charlene Richard, will be held at St. Edward's Church in Richard on Friday, August 10th. The Rosary will be prayed at 4:45 p.m. Father Michael Shea will celebrate Mass at 6 p.m. This year's Mass will mark the 53rd anniversary of the death of Charlene Richard, a local girl who died of leukemia at age 12. Since her death, thousands have visited her grave to pray for her intercession, leaving behind written prayers, photos, flowers, and other precious items belonging to the ones for whom they pray. The Community of Jesus Crucified encourages everyone to mark their calendar for the following upcoming retreats, which will be held at Our Lady of Sorrows Retreat Center in St. Martinville. 2 Men of God retreats have been scheduled for the weekends of August 10th through the 12th and November 30th to December 2nd. Both of these silent retreats will be presented by Father Michael Champagne and will focus on helping men to better understand and respond to their baptismal call to holiness in their state of life. Members of the Community of Jesus Crucified will also conduct a free Women of the Eucharist retreat during the weekend of October 19th through the 21st. The retreat will include quiet time to pray, opportunities to celebrate the sacrament of reconciliation, Mass, adoration of the Eucharist, and free time to stroll through the retreat center's beautiful grounds. Our Lady of Sorrows Retreat Center in St. Martinville will host a Come and See Day of Recollection on Saturday, August 18th from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. This retreat is for those who would like answers to the questions: what is religious life? What is a sister? What is the difference between a priest and a brother? How do religious live? How does one become a religious? What is a consecrated virgin? How do I discern? Participants will learn more about the consecrated life, including the life and mission of the Community of Jesus Crucified. There's no cost or registration necessary, and those who attend should bring a brown bag lunch. Mass and the opportunity for confession will be offered. Fathers Jude Halfin and Neil McNeil would like to invite all married couples to join them for a special married couples retreat on board the Holland American cruise ship. The 7-day cruise is scheduled to depart from Seattle, Washington on September 22nd, with ports of call in Alaska and British Columbia. Space is limited, and early booking is recommended to ensure accommodations. Additional information, including rates, may be obtained online at www.globaltracktravel.com. Coming up next, we'll have an interview with seminarian and transitional deacon Garrett Savoy.
Welcome to Tell the People. I'm Trista Littell, and with me here today is Deacon Garrett Savoy. Welcome, Deacon Garrett.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's so good to have you with us today. We'd like to know a little bit more about you, so why don't you tell us a little bit about your family and your schooling, early schooling?
Well, I'm from a very small town called Mere, Assumption Parish there. My parents are now going to be celebrating 30 years of marriage this year, and I have a younger brother who's 25 years old who's attending UL. My earliest schooling was at Mere Elementary until 5th grade, and then my parents decided I needed a better formal Catholic education and sent me to Rayne Catholic through my junior high years. And then when it was time for high school, I went to Notre Dame High School in Crowley, graduating in 2002, and we just had our 10-year class reunion last weekend, which was a great blast to have.
But that was wonderful to go back and visit your classmates.
It was.
Well, when did you become interested in the priesthood?
I think the earliest recollection I can really remember was when I went to Rayne Catholic in 6th grade. We had a new young priest that had come in. He was dressed very finely in his cassock and always commanded a certain presence when he entered the classroom. We all had to stand up and say good morning, which was something different for someone from a small town. When I realized that he had something special, and I had always enjoyed serving with him, I asked him when I was in 7th grade, I said, what does it take to be a priest? That's when I kind of became a little more sure of my calling to the priesthood, but was still quite afraid of it. And not to mention when I graduated in 2002, that was at the height of the priestly scandal. So I had a bit of trepidation in that as well. So I think at the earliest stages, I was probably about 13 or so, but before I really acknowledged or came to understand what my vocation was, I was closer to 20 or 21.
Well, do you want to share with us who that person is that may have had an impact on you and your decision to become a priest?
Well, he is no longer a priest right now, but I think the largest influence during my high school years and young adult years was my pastor, Monsignor Harrington. He had a great influence on me. He showed me what it meant to be a real priest, not something that was ethereal or something in the hemispheres, but something more of a human person who communed with God as a human and helped people with God as a person. So it's not that he's God or he's some type of angel. He's a human person who deals with people on a daily basis, helps them in both the good times and the bad times, and with a good jovial sense of humor, which always helps.
Absolutely. Well, what seminaries have you attended?
Well, for 4 years I attended St. Joseph's, which is known by most people by St. Ben's. And then I'm at Notre Dame Seminary right now. I've completed 3 years. I have 1 year left. Well, actually, it's a mini semester and then a full semester in the spring. My assignment ends in October of this year instead of in August like most guys.
Oh, okay. Well, I know you've had many summer assignments.
That I have, yes.
But would you like to tell us about some of them?
Just in my last few assignments, I've been in Sacred Heart on the Teche in New Iberia. And then last summer, I did clinical pastoral education at Memorial Hermann Southwest in Houston, which is one of the top hospitals in the entire nation, where I worked with them in dealing with hospice. Mainly, I dealt with hospice, inpatient hospice, which was a great, great benefit for my future ministry. I dealt with people dying every day. And then my most recent assignment, I'm at St. Joseph's in Cecilia with Father Michael Delcom in the two parishes there, St. Joseph's and St. Rose, which are great parishes, and I've been in there 2 weeks now, so I'm getting a little better feel of what the parishes are all about.
Well, now that you're a transitional deacon in your last year before becoming a priest, entering the priesthood, what are you expecting to learn?
Well, there's so many things I could learn, but I think from the people of God, I think just learning how to be a good minister. The people in Cecilia are great. They're very knowledgeable about the faith. They're very loving, and they love their priests very much. So I think just to learn from them on how to be a good minister and an effective minister, and their ministry is much better than anything I could think of aspiring to. They're great people there. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to just learning and being with them. Helping them in whatever ways I can, but I think they're going to teach me much more than I can teach them.
And is there anything specific that you're going to be doing?
I'm really looking forward to actually baptizing my first babies. I have a bunch of friends who are pregnant now. I mean, we're in that age where a lot of my classmates are pregnant. And I'm really excited and looking forward to baptizing a few of those children coming up in the not too distant future. Actually, this month.
Well, that awareness was brought about by just going to your class reunion.
That's true, very much so.
Yeah. Very good. Well, if there's anyone considering entering the priesthood, do you have any advice for them?
I think there's quite a few things one can do, but I think the main thing is listen to your heart in prayer. Make sure you pray. Pray for the wisdom of a vocation, even if it's not the priesthood. That's not a problem. We need good lay people to bring up good Catholic families. Without good Catholic families, we don't have good Catholic priests either. So I think prayer in deciding and discerning where your vocation can come from. And keeping that in mind, don't put out any one of the vocations, whether it is to the vocation of the priesthood or to the single life or to the married life. I think if we keep our options open and through prayer understand what's really going on in our heart, that God won't call us where we're not actually being called to. And He won't call us to something that He doesn't think we can do. So I think in the grand scheme of things, prayer is the essential part of learning what your vocation is.
Because if we don't pray and we don't listen, there's no way we'll know.
Right, and that's the main thing. Today's world is so hectic with so many things and distractions. If we don't pay attention to what's the inner workings of our heart, we'll never understand what God's actually calling us to. It could be a vocation, but if you're not listening, I don't think you'll ever hear it. You'll never find out.
Well, we're going to certainly be praying for you during this next year and as you continue on into the priesthood.
Please do, please do. I'd be more than happy to pray for the people of God in this great diocese. I'm very happy to be back in this diocese from New Orleans. So I'm looking forward to ministering with the people of God here in this diocese.
And we're so happy to have you here. And we just want to thank you for being with us today. And thank you for joining us. And we'd like the people to stay tuned because there's more to come on Tell the People.
Coming up next, Father Michael Champine's talk is about the upcoming year of faith in the segment, What It Means to be Catholic.
Good morning, a warm welcome to all of our viewers, both by television and via internet, to What It Means to be Catholic. Last Sunday we concluded our series, 7-part series, on the 7 capital vices. And today, this Sunday, we want to, as we end the month of July, want to do a little introduction upon the upcoming year of faith that our Holy Father, Pope Benedict XVI, has called to begin this October. The year of faith will begin October the 11th, 2012, and it will end November the 24th, the Feast of Christ the King, which is the last Sunday in Ordinary Time in the year 2013. So basically a year of emphasis on divine faith. Our Catholic faith, the objective content of the faith, but on this great gift that God gives us to be able to have this supernatural power to adhere to Him and to believe everything that He reveals. And as He is preserved and transmitted down the centuries through the Catholic Church. So we're going to have this year of faith, which begins in October. It really commemorates 2 great events. One is it's going to commemorate the opening of the Second Vatican Council. That was the opening of Vatican Council II was on October the 11th, 1962. And so October the 11th in the year 2012 will be 50 years. So we'll be commemorating 50 years since the opening of Vatican II Council. And that was a great movement of the Holy Spirit in the Church, as all the councils have been. And of course, we want to emphasize that great gift of the Father to us in the teaching of Vatican II. So we're going to commemorate the Vatican II Council, but also during the year of faith, we want to review the teaching of Vatican II and the 16 documents. And so we'll have study groups going on during the year. We're going to try on the parish level and certainly on the diocesan level with our What It Means to be Catholic series. We'll be having series on the various documents to become, again, familiar with them.